Today we're going to be solving two-step inequalities, okay? The process is the same. What I want you to do is take a look at number one and match it with the graph. So you're going to need to solve it and match it with the graph. What's the first thing I need to do to solve it? What's the first thing I'm going to do? Nope. What's the first thing I need to do to solve it, Justin?
Multiply 4.
No, sir. First thing I need to do to solve it, Molly, subtract 2 from both sides. So if I subtract 2, this becomes -1. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now this is gone. Now what do I do next? Now what would I do next? Ridley.
Multiply both sides by 4.
Multiply both sides by 4. I'll get rid of the 4 here, and -4 times a +4, or -1 times 4 is -4, correct? So which graph matches that? Which graph matches it, Madison?
B.
B. Okay? The solving is really, it's no different than what we've been doing. We just have to remember, if we multiply or divide by a negative number, we flip the sign. Okay? We've just added another dimension to it, so to speak. So with that being said, do number 2. So Natalie, what am I going to start with? Okay, I have 2x minus 3 greater than or equal to 1. You said add 3 to both sides? Okay, so that gives me 2x greater than or equal to 4. Is that correct? Okay. What do I need to do next? What do I need to do next, Bryn? Divide both sides by 2. X is greater than or equal to 2. Okay? So which graph? A, B, or C? Cadence?
A.
A. Okay? What do you think? Is this going to be extremely difficult, do you think?
No.
No. These are pretty simple. Again, rewriting your statements is something you need to get into, because as you continue to get further in your math, that's the only way you're going to keep track of it. It's the only way to be certain of what you're doing. Okay? Well, let's look at, solve it. 5x minus 4 greater than or equal to 11. Just solve it. Tyler, what'd you get for X? No, that's fine. That's what I figured somebody else was printing. Lily, what'd you get for X? X is greater than or equal to 3. Tyler, I need you to be doing stuff when I ask you to, okay? You gotta go ahead and do it like everybody else, okay, bub? All right, so if I graph it, is that an issue?
No.
Graphing, it's not a problem anymore, is it? Pretty simple stuff. All right. Did anybody not get 3? Don't know where that came from. Okay, so do B. B divided by -3 plus 4 is less than 13. B divided by -3 plus 4 is less than 13. I need to start a file for her again.
Okay.
Okay. Huh? I wondered. I'll tell you more. Okay. Get it, G? She wants to do B on the board. Move it up to open up more space. Okay, go right ahead, G. Use your acting voice, G, so we can hear you.
Okay, so then it's less than, but then it says B divided by -3, you do it, multiplied by -3, so that cancels 3 out. And then that'd be, times -3. So you get less than -27.
G, you're dividing by or multiplying by a negative number. What do you do with the sign?
Use inverted.
Yes? He's, okay. Uh-huh. There we go. Flip the sign. Do you guys agree with him now?
Yeah.
All right. I need number 1. Go ahead and do 1 and 2. Yeah, go ahead and graph it because you will be graphing on your assignment today. Okay, Madison has done number 1. D is less than or equal to -5. Do you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
back up there, please. You got one that says no, they don't agree. G, talk to Madison. Okay.
She did.
Well-
She did. Oh, she did? Never mind. Gee, I
Okay.
didn't see that.
Okay, are we good, G?
Yeah.
Cadence, you got the next one. Subtract 8 from both sides. Multiply by -4. Okay. She says W is less than -4. Do you agree? Is the graph correct?
Yes.
Okay, we're good to go? Example 2. You've got to figure out which one of these graphs represents the solution of -7 times parentheses x plus 3, close parentheses, is less than or equal to 28. So you're going to have to solve it or test it. Either way. First one. If you do this one, that's fine. Because it's fine to do it. Won't hurt it at all. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. There's couple different ways you can do it here. Well, that should be negative. And then you're going to, now, you subtract. In front of it. So -4 minus 3. Something's wrong with it. Here you had this, but you didn't have it in there, we corrected it, and so right there, you said, what you get. Okay, so then which graph? Why? Okay, I'll be right back. She says B. Do you agree with her?
Yes.
Do you know where it's coming from?
Yes.
Okay. Did anybody solve it differently than the way she solved it? Marissa, talk to me. You solved it differently, right? Can you help me? Let's see if I can slide that. Okay, Marissa, you started out with the same problem, but what did you do first? When you went to do yours, what did you do first?
Instead of dividing, multiply.
Okay, she's like this. Okay, right there, you divided by what?
7.
Divided by the -7. Dividing both sides by -7 right there. Flipped her sign. And 28 divided by a negative 7 is negative what?
4.
Negative 4. And that leaves me with x plus 3 over there on the left side. Okay? She just dealt with the distributive property first and undid that. Then what did you do? You subtracted what?
I subtracted 3 from over 4.
Subtracted 3 from both sides. And I've got negative 4 minus 3 is a negative 7. The answer is the same, just a different way to work with it. Okay? You can undo it using your distributive property first, or you can distribute first. Either way is acceptable. Okay? Got a story problem. Contestant in a weight loss competition wants to lose an average of at least 8 pounds per month during a 5-month period. How many pounds must the contestant lose in the 5th month to meet the goal? How am I going to write it? I heard I'm so confused, so let's get the equation written. Question?
I think I might know how to do it.
Okay, tell me what you think.
Okay, I thought 8.5x is greater than or equal to 5. It's the average of 12, 9, 5, and 8 is 8.5.
Okay, now say that again. You took
8.5 plus x is greater than or equal to 5.
8.5 plus x is greater than or equal to 5 because you added all of these together
And then you divide it by 4.
and divided that by 4.
And now it's 8.5.
Okay. 8.5. And tell me the rest of what you said.
Plus x is greater than or equal to 5.
And x is what they lost in the 5th month. It would work just fine, wouldn't it? Good. So you got to figure out what they lost in the 5th month. That's the question. How many pounds do they have to lose in the 5th month to meet the goal? Nice job.
But don't they want it to be a 2-step?
Well, it really was. We just didn't write it that way. Because in order to make it that way, instead of using the 8.5, you would have put in parentheses all of the data there added together divided by the number 4. I'm going to look. It's an average though, right, of all 5 months? If I just throw this in there the way it is that going to give me the average? If I want the average of all of it, I have to have 5 entries, don't I? I've got an average of 4 and then just adding whatever's left for the 5th one. That wouldn't give me the average of 5 months.
Would it be that?
Yes. Okay, so the only thing she needs to do here is change this. We've got all these pieces here. And, well, it could be 8.5 because you added those up, right? Is that the average, though? Give me your total when you added the data that you have right here.
It's
What,
like 30 something. 34. Yeah.
34? So you have 34 plus x divided by 5 because you've got 5 months. You see why you have to add the x into it,
Yeah.
okay? And then that does make it the 2-step equation that we're working with, okay? You were on the right track, we just had to go 1 step further. My 3 looks like a 2.
subtract first or multiply first?
I would multiply first. PEMDAS, right.
Earlier you said we subtract.
That's whenever it's like 3x plus 34.
You didn't have this step. You didn't have this step here before. You didn't have the step where you were adding and also doing the division at the end. So if I multiplied both sides by 4, or by 5, then I end up with my 34 plus x greater than or equal to 25. Okay, and then what do I do next? Subtract 34 from both sides. So I end up with x equals, because it's a loss, we're seeing it as a negative. We want to lose, so what's x going to have to be?
X is greater than or equal to 9.
Or all of these, it's basically, we're talking 9 pounds then. Okay? X has to be greater than or equal to a 9-pound loss. That's why we come in with the negative. That's why this shows up as a negative, because those are pounds that we're losing. Most people don't see a loss in pounds as a negative thing, though. Okay? Any questions on that one? I'm going to have you do one more, do number 4 together, and then we will move on to the last.
I didn't grab it.
Okay, you gotta graph it for me up there. Okay? Let me squeeze this way. Yeah. Good. And you're dividing though. You're not multiplying. The opposite of what was already there is division. Good.
Oh crap, that's like really bad.
You're okay. Go for it, because we're about out of time.
Oh, okay. Where's the that one?
Exactly. And then you're adding or subtracting. It was good. You added. Good.
Just try it again. Oh, it's a text pin. Let's go to the.
Go
I
pen.
got the pen.
Right there.
It's cold. That's still really small.
That's okay. Just do it.
Last thing.
Get that way.
All right. She says K is less than 8. She is correct. And it is graphed correctly. You have an assignment. The next page gives you your assignment. Oh, and I switched that. So we're going to go math journal. What page is that? 82. And then textbook 151. Those bottom ones that we always do. 25 through 27. Okay, that'll be the assignment.
I knew we dismissed from here.
Now, we're not doing that assignment up there, okay? That makes it a very small assignment so that it's not too much